If you're preparing to hit the trails and go for a hike, the first step is getting the right gear.
Teresa Strausser has just the place for you to check out up in Prescott. This is the Hike Shack.
Cal has spent 3,000 nights in the backcountry. If anybody knows what the outdoors have to offer, it's you. Why do you love being outdoors?
I just love experiencing new things in the outdoors and being connected with nature and just listening to the sounds and being disconnected with, say, like the screens and everything and the busyness and the noise here and when we're in town. So apart from working here, I love to escape and experience that as much as I can as well. So
You just made such a great point because we're all on our phones. How about you go outside? The graphics are amazing.
yeah, absolutely. And here at the Hike Shack, we have everything to help accommodate you and whatever level of adventure that you seek to achieve. So
Right, okay, so if you're gonna start or if you're an experienced hiker, you do have to be ready for this time of year, and it's really about the gear.
it is. And here we sell a multitude of gear for a bunch of different types of different adventures. If you just want to take an afternoon versus going out for a week or possibly more at a time, or if you have a river trip that you wanted to go and do, or if you just want like a casual coat to look nice and keep you warm for walking around town.
If you're not going to be outdoorsy, you might as well look outdoorsy. So you have
Absolutely.
everything here, and it's like on a smaller postage stamp than maybe in a big chain store.
Correct. You know, we don't have quite the space that a big warehouse store would have, but if you look around, there's a lot of different things in the store that we carry, you know, pretty consistent with the kind of availability that you would and selection that you would have at one of those bigger box stores.
We won't mention any names of those, but look, just a quick rundown. You've got foods you can eat on the trail, backpacks, hats, clothing, gloves, socks.
Yeah.
What am I missing?
Tents, sleeping bags, cook sets. We have layers, you know, if you need some long underwear for your next ski adventure.
Very important.
We have outer layers and rain layers if you're looking to go somewhere that gets a lot of rain, or if it's monsoon season, or if it's snowing outside. And it just depends on, you know, what that, you know, where you're going and how prepared you have to be.
As important as your shoes when you're hiking are your socks.
Absolutely.
And you say wool is the way to go.
Wool is the way to go for me, or a synthetic fiber that would wick the moisture away. People get into this idea that cotton socks are comfy, which they are, but once you start sweating into them, they retain that moisture, and that's when you get that high friction, and that's what creates blisters. And you want to avoid that when you're out in the backcountry, or
I know, because
just on a hike.
One blister ruins your whole hike. This is a popular boot here for like somebody like me who's starting out.
Sure. Yeah, nice things about this boot. It's leather, which has a tendency to kind of give where you need it to. It's a ventilated boot, so it's non-waterproof, which in the desert we don't need too much of the waterproofness unless you're going around in snow. It has ankle support, which, you know, if you have a tendency to roll your ankles, that's helpful with that. And it also has a stiffer sole, which tends to last a little bit longer than if you went with some of the more sportier shoes that are like trail runners that are on the wall there.
So if you're going to hike in 2024, these are the two most important things you should think about, your socks and your shoes.
Socks and shoes is the great place to start, and then branching out from there to add more things to your backpack, essentially, you know, to get you outside and get you ready for any adventure that you could.
One cool thing about this shop is that it's owned by 3 women.
Correct.
And they pretty much let you hike wherever. Can you talk about some of the places you've been?
Well, you know, long distance backpacking tends to be my passion. I've done the Appalachian Trail and the Pacific Crest Trail. This past fall, my partner and I were able to do 45 days and do a through hike of the Arizona Trail. I also work in the summers. I work at the bottom of the Grand Canyon as a commercial whitewater guide, and so they encourage those to kind of, you know, give me a knowledge base to apply all of my knowledge.
So when you give advice, you have really been there, done that, lived it.
Yeah, I would never lie to anybody, you know, and if I didn't have that experience, I would be honest with them about it, you know.
Okay, before we go, favorite local hikes, go.
Favorite local hikes. If you had one day in Prescott, I would send you out to Watson or Willow Lake and the Granite Dells. It's beautiful out there. Might be a little hot in the summer, and I might send you up to Goldwater Lake or Lynx Lake, which would be 2 awesome reservoirs that are up in the pines.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And wear wool socks.